that brush.
How did the first day of practice go?
Generally, pretty good, like first days of practice. Sometimes they're chaotic. One thing I've learned over the years is try to make the first day as instructional as possible and make things go in a way that they recognize some of the things that we've been working on, and at the same time, the effort and the energy and all the things that you look for. So I think somewhere between. It was great. We have 7 seniors and 5 of them are in the starting lineup and only 1 freshman. Yeah, Kelly Farris's team. I would have loved that team. That practice was in October was like March, but today, there's a lot of learning going on, a lot of new stuff for these guys. Some of them. So all in all, I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
Does this have potential to be one of your deeper teams? Seems like you have a lot of options out there.
Yeah, I think so. I think we have an opportunity to play a different way than we've been kind of forced to play the last couple of years. I think we can put a few more different combinations out there than we have in the past few years. We're a little bit longer than we have been, so people can play different positions, a little easier. People can get a breather during games, a little more so. So we're trying to develop our depth as well. We're trying to make sure that it's quality depth, not just bodies, extra bodies.
For Sarah, how was the ramp up to year 2 different than the year 1 experience? She obviously did some great things and played herself into a higher profile nationally. Yeah. She has a quiet personality, but such a loud game.
Yeah. When you come in as a freshman and you're trying to just fit in, and you're naturally quiet, as you said, things take a little bit of time for it to show itself. But the way she just blended in so easily last year, and the way things, evolved at the end, and how comfortable she looked, they say that the biggest jump you make in college is between freshman and sophomore year. So I think having that kind of success, motivated Sarah to do even more. She's in better shape than she was because she knows more. She is more confident because she's already done it. Even more assertive than she was, even more of a, someone who self-assured, whatever words you want to use, it's all evident, So compared to last year's first week of practice, it's, completely different. Completely different.
How has the transition been for Sarah Williams and for Kaylee?
Okay, I don't know which is worse, right? You were in high school and you don't know anything about anything, so everything's new, or you already played 1 year in Kaylee's case, 3 years in Sarah's case, and you already kind of have in your mind, this is how I play. Now you got to put that aside and move on to a different thing. So I think in that respect, they're picking things up pretty quickly. I think Sarah knows what she wants, She knows where she wants the ball, and we're trying to put her in those places, and she's confident. In some other places where she's not used to having the ball, that's going to take a little bit of time, but I think the thing she's good at, she's really good at. Kaylee, same thing. She likes to play fast, and which is good because that's how we want to play, and I think she likes to play aggressive. So they're both going to get a chance to do that.
We didn't get to see Blanca during the open practice, but we saw a little bit of her there. Just how is she adjusting to school and to just the practices now? How is she compared to your other European players in the past?
I think there's a lot of similarities in all the European players, you know. They have pretty good fundamentals. Their footwork is usually pretty good. Their work ethic is usually pretty good. They're used to playing against much older players, you know, over there. School usually is absolutely nothing to worry about with them. The language issue is generally not that bad. Some is better than others. She's been away from home for so long, you know, home being Ecuador, but then her other home is Italy. So she's used to being on her own, used to traveling, used to, you know, going to practice every day. She was in school, used to doing schoolwork. You know, I think she has a great schedule academically. She has Spanish 101 and 102, Italian 103 and 104. So I think she's getting straight A's right now. So we're gonna see if we can't have her major in Italian and minor in Spanish. She'll be dean's list before you know it.
How is she on the court too?
On the court, she's fun to watch because she's unpredictable, you know. She has a lot of skills and can do a lot of things, and sometimes she tries to do them all at the same time. But she's fun to watch. She does some things every day that you really go, only somebody that's played against really experienced players knows that.
Is there more emphasis, you think, nationwide with recruiting kids overseas?
There has been recently, and I think there's going to be even more going forward. I think there's a lot of really good players over there that had a choice between going to America and going to school, and their other choice was stay home, join some club team, and now that financially, you know, it can work for them a little bit better, you're going to see more and more of them come over. I don't think they come with the same expectations that you might have kids over here. So I think they're in great demand right now by coaches around the country. Let's put it that way.
How's KK doing, and how is this different? I mean, she started 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and you know, we'll see if she starts this year. But how is it different in the fact that 2 years ago she had Nika and Paige next to her, and this year, you know, still veteran, but not. what
Yeah.
they are?
No, it's going to be a big adjustment for KK. I think the last 2 years she's had a specific role, whether it was when she was in the start lineup or whether, you know, last year, you know, coming off the bench. I think her role was exactly the same both years. And this year it's going to be a little more challenging for her because she's going to have to do a little bit more of the other stuff than just come in and be disruptive. And that's going to take a little bit of time. You know, I think not having Paige, that impacts every kid on our team, not just KK. I mean, you can see it out there. But yeah, it's one more step in the learning process for KK, you know. And I think she's excited about it. I think she's anxious to be counted on to do a little bit more.
You being a champion changed her?
I mean, I hope so. Sometimes you can't tell, but I think the general feeling is that a lot of these kids are a little more sure that they can, as opposed to I hope I can. I want to be able to see if I can. So she's a little more confident probably. She's, you know, I don't know what she's like inside, because I can't get there, but I think she's given the appearance that she's a more confident player, more confident person.
Kaylee wanting to play fast, KK next to her, that must be a dream for her. KK loves to play fast as well.
Yeah, I think between KK, Kaylee, Khalees is probably the fastest of all of them in some ways, and Blanca. There are a lot of, Ash only goes a little bit, but when you throw her out there too, there's a lot of players that, and then Sarah, strong because of Sarah squared versus Sarah Williams. Yeah, we have the potential to play quicker.
Taking the course defending national champs, do you notice a little extra buzz from some of the players, whether it's AZ or some of the other Sarah? Is it palpable? Do you feel that?
I maybe. I think there's a little bit of that. I think we haven't, we haven't talked about it much, but I'm sure in the next week or so, there'll be things that'll come up where you'll be able to see what their reaction is to some of the stresses that we put them under. As of right now, they seem different. I can't put my finger on it, but I guess we'll know more in a couple weeks.
Geno, have you had an aha moment yet, or when you expect it, when you realize Paige isn't out there? If you've had it, what was that like? When do you expect to have it? You haven't.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you haven't had to make a big jump from, one player dominating your team, and you expect it, year 2, year 3, year 4, and then all of a sudden it's gone. It's a big adjustment, I think, for me. I think for the team, there were, more than a couple events today on the court that happened where you go, I think we're going to see more of that, because last year that would have been something different, and now, you have to wait for somebody to fill that void, and no one's going to be able to fill it completely, but it'll start to show itself. But it's like when Stewie left, it's like when Diana left, it's like when Maya left, or it could be Tina, or anytime you have someone that's so dominant at their position, takes some getting used to, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think she's doing well. I think people should check on her a little bit. I think she was on vacation or something, and she texted me that I can show it to you. It says, "I miss you."
Wow.
I'm not sure it was meant for me, but I'm going with it. It was meant for me. Accidental. It was a butt text,
Yeah.
and it kind of made me like roll my eyes and go, "Man, we kind of miss you. We kind of miss you more."
Speaking of the W, Cheryl Reeve went off on officiating the other night. Becky Hammond had a good, I thought was real good. They're saying she has NBA player, and they said there'd be fights everywhere.
Yeah.
If, with the physicality.
Yeah.
A lot of the officials carry our college. I don't think the 3 involved in the Minnesota game.
I didn't recognize any of the names.
But a lot of them are. And you've always been somewhat concerned about the physicality, even though you've had one of the more physical teams over the years. Seeing what's going on there, what was your feeling about it? And are you concerned that, is the college game going to become something like with the pro game, which seems to be, at least outwardly out of control?
Yeah, I've been pretty consistent in my in my observations of both college basketball and you know where the positives are and where the negatives are. And I've had a lot of NBA people, and a lot of former WNBA players tell me that that what goes on in the WNBA game is way more physical than what happens in an NBA game. Now, you know, you go to NBA games in the playoffs. Well, that's maybe a different story, but you know, I think on a daily basis, I think the WNBA game is not conducive to like great basketball. Okay, I mean, you can spin it any way you want. Well, there's more viewers, there's more that. That's great. That doesn't mean it's a better game just because more people are watching, supposedly. Right? You watched last year's final game between the Liberty and the Lynx. It was a horrendous game. But any way you want to spin it, it was a horrendous game. Two of the two best teams in the league. And what score was 20-20 at halftime or some crazy. People can't get open, people can't cut, the ball handler's getting, you know, whacked every time they move. Listen, you always expect your best player or the other, you know, you always expect your best player to have a rough time. I've been through that, and I've complained about it a lot. I just think that the way the game, and I don't blame the officials. Everybody says, you know, these officials are bad, those officials are good. If we had those officials, it'd be a better game. I don't think it's the people actually officiating the games. I think it's what's either in the rule book or what's accepted as this is the style of play that we want. Because if they didn't want that style of play, they wouldn't have it. So you can't just say, well, it's the official's fault.
For example, did you think the play in the visa was a foul? And did you see the tweet from NBA referee's Twitter saying it wasn't a foul because the steal was clean and the contact was incidental?
I didn't see all the comments, and actually, I didn't see the foul. I saw the replay. I didn't see even that. And the steal was clean. Like in the actual clip that I saw, the actual getting the ball was, to me, was clean. What happened? Is that a continuation of the play? Is it incidental contact? I don't know. I don't think, as a coach, I can't read her mind. I don't think their coach reacted the way she reacted on that call. I think that reaction was on an entire game of that, in which a lot of it was not incidental. It's intentional. I don't mean intentional towards, you know, any particular player, but it's an intentional grab and hold and all the things that you can get away with in the WNBA. And I think that probably just added up, and then you lose your mind and do things that you normally wouldn't do, you know? Is that the official's fault? I don't know. I just think it's what's allowed. It's like the bullshit that happened in the Ryder Cup. That's not allowed at Augusta. Correct? So whatever happens is because it's allowed to happen. If it wasn't acceptable, it wouldn't be allowed to happen. Okay? So I think the rules are the rules, and I think the officials are probably officiating the game according to the rules that they've been handed down. So if they want to change it, they'll change it. Is the NBA game the same as it was during the Michael Jordan, Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, Kurt Rambis years? No, the game's different. It's officiated different, correct? Everybody knows that. It's officiated different. Is the strike zone the same as it was when, you know, Mike Schmidt played or Babe Ruth played? No, the game's officiated different. Why? It's different time, different game. So if you want the game to be different, you have to legislate it to be different. I think this is the way they want the game. That's all that I can assume. Me personally, I don't think people want to watch that. I can't watch it, but, and it's a shame because there's a lot of really, really, really good players that are not being able, and that was always my thing. There's a lot of really, really good players that you can't see just how talented they are because they're not allowed to be. They're not allowed to be. You know? You can hit a basketball player more times than you can hit a wide receiver in the NFL. After the first 5 yards, you can't touch a wide receiver, correct? Well, after the guy takes an inbounds pass, they can still beat the shit out of you. And there's no call. So in some weird Italian mind, it's more physical in the WNBA than it is in the NFL. I mean, I don't believe it, but I can say it. Because we live in a world where you can say dumb shit.
Or your injured players come along. You mentioned Ash, but Morgan and Jana wasn't out there. Blanca didn't participate in the scrimmage.
Jenna did a part of practice. I don't know what percentage, but she was involved in maybe a third of all the practice. Morgan, I don't know. I have no idea yet when that's going to be resolved. Ash went through about 3/4 of practice. So little by little, we're getting closer and closer to having Ash full time. Jenna, keep ramping that up a little bit. Morgan, I don't know what her timetable is right now.
Do you like the open Division I scrimmages, or would you rather kind of hide your growing pains earlier in the season until you start playing the ranked teams?
I like the exhibition games. I like what we're going to do. I think it's great. I think we should do more of it. You know, we should do more of it, and I'm sure down the road we will. We will. I mean, we played Boston College when AZ and Caroline were freshmen. We played them over here in Worth, but that's before we had to pay them. Now, when we play them again, we're going to play in front of 9,000 people in a doubleheader with the men, because we're going to pay them. So the world has changed. So instead of, secret scrimmages and exhibition games against, people nobody really wants to watch, I think you're going to see more of this, and I like it, against a really good team. We had a great scrimmage last year with Columbia. Another year was Syracuse. I think one year was UMass. So I like it. I like it.
Great for your fans to see all of it, see the men and the women playing.
Yeah. I mean, there's the doubleheader. We play, the big time, little big gap, couple hours, I think the Mohegans were, generous enough to give our fans time to go contribute some money to their account and grab some dinner and then stay and watch the men's game. Should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know, remember the last time our men have played BC. It's been a while, right?
Yeah, I know, yeah.
It's been a while. So it's pretty cool. I like it.
Gino, when you were talking about Sarah earlier, you mentioned there's always that potential for a big jump year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
A lot of players. For her, if all goes according to plan, what do you think that looks like for her this year? What's next in her development as an elite player?
For Sarah Strong?
Yes.
I think it's just continue to be what you've been. Continue to do what you did. Keep building on what you did last year. We probably saw most of what Sarah has to offer last year in the NCAA tournament. She may have had the best rookie NCAA tournament of anybody ever, given the impact that she had and some of the numbers she put up. So you could say, well, it's hard to build on that, but I think her impact is it's going to be significant. But maybe because people have seen some of it already, it may not be as big a deal. But I think the impact, I think, is going to be pretty significant. You know, even more so than last year. And defensively, I think she's got a whole nother level. You know, and you'll see that. You know, like last year, or the last couple of years, we used Paige as our, everywhere, guard big guys, guards, and I think this year, Sarah could be that person. She'll be guarding the point guard, she'll be guarding the center, she'll be, everywhere on the floor, and and scoring a lot of the same ways that she did last year, and maybe even more other ways.
Has she been a fun kid for you to get to know and work with
Yeah.
this year?
Yeah.
This past year?
Yeah. Anna's been working a lot with Sarah on some things, and one of the things they worked on, she was forced to come in and talk to me, and we had a great back and forth and ask each other questions, and I was pretending to be one of you guys that was interviewing her, and then I was pretending to be her and the kind of answers that she gave. So we had a lot of fun with that. I said, I'll be you, you be one of the reporters, and it was fun. It was one of the most fun conversations that we've had in a while.
I know Yana wasn't here today because of class, but just what's like seeing her back on the court after 2 years?
Carol?
Yana.
Oh, Yana. Yeah, I mean, she hasn't lost any of her athletic ability, that's for sure, her energy, it's just, when you think about it, it's a long time since I've seen her on the court, Her freshman year seems like forever ago. But yeah, no, she's still the same Yana, still the same defender, same rebounder. I think she's gotten a little more confident around the basket. But, whenever you have something and a style that no one else on our team can duplicate, that's a pretty good place to be in. See how quickly she gets her game back, All this workouts and stuff is great, but games are completely different.
What jump are you hoping to see out of Ash this year?
I think like Carl said, last year should have been their freshman year, where you kind of play a different role. And so now she's already had 2 years under her belt, and we've been talking a lot in our office about how vocal she's been, how, I would say there's never a day that Ash comes to practice and doesn't give you the best that she has in every area. She's always locked in. She's always prepared. She's become much more vocal. I would expect her to evolve into a team leader, on some way, but whether it's verbally, whether it's loud, whether it's subtle, whether it's obvious and everybody sees it, or whether it's under the radar. But I do think she's going to be one of those team leaders.
And that you've talked about needing leaders to emerge in the absence of Paige. Has anyone stood out in that respect besides Ash?
Carol, Carol's, because she spent a lot of time talking to him last year, and gotten to know them a little bit. Sarah, strong, the people that I think sometimes look to be the quietest have an impact. And no one has evolved as, that's our team leader. And maybe nobody wants to be. Maybe it's just like, let's just see how it evolves, and let's see how it happens organically. I don't know. Right now, it's a work in progress, as they say.
You mentioned last week that Carol is still kind of day to day.
Mhm.
Just how are you balancing her workload just as you guys get going?
we just let her go. She's in practice as long as she wants to be, and then when she's not, she's not. And as I said last week, I'm approaching it like I'm counting her to be available. How much? I don't know. What days? I don't know. I just know she's going to be available. And she'll she'll determine that when she can go.
And Ash, is her injury leg related? Looks like she has
Yeah.
a wrap.
So, and it's a hamstring thing, and those things, you know, they just are, they take time. They take time. And it's not like you can rush it. It's just, it is what it is, and bugs the heck out of her because she wants to be on the court every minute of every day. So in some ways, it's actually been, in my mind, kind of pretty good to slow her down a little bit because she's 24/7 go, you know? But she'll be ready.
Sorry,
She'll be
is
ready.
Jana's also leg related, or
Huh?
is Jana's also leg related?
Yeah, she had a calf issue a while back. I mean, it wasn't anything that you could say, well, she's going to be out a long time. But a lot of these nagging things, you know, if you don't take care of them now, they become chronic. And then you got to deal with them every year. I mean, the whole year. So we're trying to be proactive and all that.
Anything else?
Well, there you have it. Have fun.